Alright, time to go on another long fast, at least a day or two. Today, April 19th, is the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing, and tomorrow, April 20, is the anniversary of the Columbine high school shooting. It's really sad, twin anniversaries. Those are probably two of my earliest flashbulb memories of, I remember where I was when this happened. I was in second grade when the Oklahoma City bombing took place. We were in the classroom when one of the other teachers came in to whisper something to my teacher, and both of them were on the verge of tears. But they didn't tell us what had gone on because we were very young and didn't really appreciate what was going on. And when I got home, it was all over the news. But I really didn't know what bombing was, what it meant. I thought there had been some kind of natural disaster of some sort. A volcano had exploded underneath, something like that. I didn't really appreciate the magnitude of it all. I just knew a lot of people had died and there was a lot of destruction. I also remember what I was doing during the Columbine shooting. I actually didn't hear about the shooting itself, but the shooting prompted a lot of people to send in bomb threats to schools all over the place. And so our elementary school was closed for, I think, a day or two. And my friend told me that there had been a bomb threat. I never really heard where the bomb threat how it had come in or anything like that. And then we learned that halfway across the country there had been a shooting, and then it was all over the news. So I remember I was studying just on my own. I was trying to write a computer program to calculate pi and studying all this stuff on my own. It was in QBasic, if I remember correctly, around the same time. And so every year now we have these twin anniversaries. Although I think the date for the Columbine shooting was inspired by the date for the Oklahoma City bombing. And just a moment of sadness for all of that. Now, one thing I want to say about fasting is that one thing I love about fasting is it forces me to be flexible, right? A lot of times we don't realize there's an alternative to our status quo. You know, if you eat at a certain time, if you always eat at a certain event, you forget that to think, right? So I'm so glad this is over, but I had to get a COVID-19 test every 3 days for quite a number of months. And until very recently, you had to drive to a drive-through testing site. And it drove me nuts because I didn't want to idle my car the whole time. If I were to keep my car running the whole time of getting the test, it would cost me at least half a gallon of gas. So I would turn off the car. I would wait for there to be a good 6 or 7 car lengths in front of me, and then pull up to it. And everybody got crazy over that. They would honk their horns at me. They would sometimes cut the line in front of me. And I think people just I don't think they're in a hurry. I mean, they weren't even saving any time just by pulling up closer, right? There was plenty of space behind us. It wasn't like, oh my God, now nobody can line up for COVID testing. They just didn't want to open their minds, right? And that's what fasting allows me to do. It allows me to think outside of food, right? And so if more people fasted, we might be able to think of better solutions than to bomb a building or to shoot a school, right? Certainly the 2 guys who were involved in the shooting would have been in a better mental state, and it may not have happened if we regularly did intermittent fasting.